Hey everybody. I just finished a book by Christopher Pike. This is Remember Me. This was a buddy read with a friend of mine, and I know what you're thinking. I sound pretty happy about this book. This is going to be one of the most negative book reviews I've probably ever done. This was bad. This was really, really bad. Um, Christopher Pike is actually, I have all of the books I've read by Pike other than one Spooksville right here. All of those behind this book got 4 out of 5 stars for me. This one, I'm not going to tell you what I've rated it yet. I guess that's more towards the end of the video, but this book sucked. This was absolutely garbage. This was bad. The story starts off with Sherry and her brother. Sherry's telling us how she died. This is not a spoiler. This is like the first couple of pages. She's telling us how she died. And she's telling us that she's going to be dying soon or whatever. And she is at her house with her brother, who is a diabetic who sleepwalks, which I don't know if that's actually a thing or not, but yeah. They have a housekeeper named Miss Parish, I think is her name, and she has a daughter named Amanda, who is her brother Jimmy's girlfriend. And he's sleepwalking, and he goes in on her while she's trying to use a bathroom or whatever, and he pulls her away. She stops him from going into the bathroom with his girlfriend or whatever, and she tells him that you almost peed on her, And it's actually pretty funny at the beginning of this book because the chemistry between Sherry and really all of the characters is really good. Sherry is very sarcastic and snarky and all, and I really enjoy her. She's really funny. And all this stuff, So they end up going to this birthday party for Beth, and Beth was another kind of fun character, not really, but her nickname was Big Beth, and actually every character in here has nicknames, and I don't remember all of them, but Beth, which is nicknamed Big Beth because she had big breast, and it's kind of trashy and stuff, so I enjoyed that. Haven't read anything like this in quite a while. They're going to a birthday party, and it is, let me see if I can get everybody's name right. We got Sherry, her boyfriend Daniel, a friend of theirs named Jeff, Jeff lost his brother, last year before that or something, in a motorcycle accident, and Jeff is dating Beth, and then we got Amanda, who is Jimmy's girlfriend, but Jimmy doesn't go. There is explained, but I honestly don't even remember why he doesn't go. So anyway, yeah, they're going to this birthday party. They get there, and long story short, Beth ends up cheating on her boyfriend with Sherry's boyfriend. Yeah, it gets a little confusing, but this isn't even the confusing part. But yeah, so Sherry's kind of depressed, and she's sitting on the side of the balcony, where this party is at, and she ends up falling down and dying. And it takes her probably 3 or 4 chapters to realize that she's dead. Even seeing blood on the pavement and all this. And she ends up running because she sees this shadow monster thing. She runs to the to a cemetery where she's supposed to be buried at, and she sees Peter, which is Jeff, who I mentioned earlier, lost his brother in a motorcycle accident. That's this ghost. And he's basically there to kind of guide her and teach her, what happened, or whatever, and how to be a ghost. And that's fine, I was like, okay, this might be pretty good. Well, the next 70 or 80 pages is honestly, okay, so Sherry wants to prove that she didn't die by suicide, and that's what everybody is ruling it as, and everybody's, everybody in this book thinks that Sherry did not die of suicide. She wasn't that type or anything. She was kind of sad with everything that went down. And there's this detective guy that has another little side story about, with his daughter that's kind of like a druggie and all this stuff. That's a whole different side story. But the next 70 or 80 pages is literally Peter and Sherry hitching rides on vehicles because I guess Sherry's scared to fly or whatever, not going through walls. not being able to open doors, and just listening to this detective ask questions to each person. They literally go to each person's house, and this detective asks every single one of them like basically the same things. And it's okay. Like some of the like dialogue is pretty okay, but the dialogue at the beginning before Sherry dies was a lot better. This book was depressing. It was very slow, very boring. The shadow monster thing is so stupid. The reveal of what it actually is just it's just nonsense. I mean, I just kind of read it and I was just like, okay, whatever. But that's not even the worst part. There's multiple worst parts for this book. One of the worst parts is the twist towards the end of the book. The twist towards the end of the book is so confusing and so stupid, and like it had to. When it first popped up, I had no idea what was going on. Like this girl turns into a baby. It's stupid. It's really dumb. Made no sense. I'm glad it did explain it, but it's still like I literally put this book down and thought I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like okay, so this person is this person, that person's that person. Like I literally felt like I needed to get a piece of paper and draw it out because I was very confused. I shouldn't feel this way about a book, but this book's very boring. The twist in the end sucked. The shadow monster guy, the reveal was stupid. And then the ending was actually not bad. Let me clarify that. It was actually okay. Like it actually had a little bit of sadness to it, but for some reason this book didn't hit me as hard as these other books. Like I'm man enough to admit that I've teared up throughout every single one of his books that I've read, except Midnight Club. Midnight Club I already knew, it was terminally ill kids, and I saw some reviews where, and maybe Slumber Party. I don't remember Slumber Party being sad, but Whispers of Death and Witch both had some very, very sad moving moments, and this one had some moments, but they wasn't super sad. It was okay. Like it was just kind of bittersweet, just whatever. So the ending was okay, and the beginning was fine, but the majority of this book was just trash. I mean, I hated it. Now we're gonna get to the worst part of this book. There's two sequels to this. I think there might be more, but I think it's two. I didn't look. I was scared to, honestly. That's the scariest thing about this book. Is there's sequels to it. But there's a Remember Me 2 and Remember Me 3. I have Remember Me 3. I don't think I have Remember Me 2. But the point is, I was so fascinated. I looked at the Goodreads reviews for this book, and literally every book for Christopher, this book actually got some pretty decent reviews, so maybe there's hope, like if you actually want to read this, But Remember Me 2, like probably 20 or 30 reviews, I think, were like 1 star. And I remember one review in particular said, Remember Me, the first Remember Me, was very fast-paced and very fun or something. And then Remember Me 2, and it said Remember Me 2 took all that away. And I was like, if you consider this fast-paced, I don't even know if I want to read Remember Me 2 because that's rough. Yeah, this book sucked. There's not much else to say, but the good news is I've read, like I said, this is like my 5th or 6th book by Christopher Pike. Well, this is my 5th like standalone. I've read one of the Spooksville books, but this is the first bad one that I got. And I have a lot of Christopher Pike books in my collection, so I do plan on reading more. I did enjoy it at the beginning. I thought this book was going to be really good because it was something I wasn't used to. Like I've been reading like a lot of Goosebumps and Fear Street and stuff, and Stein doesn't really talk very trashy. And this one had a lot of trash to it. Like there's so much stuff. You got Beth, like I said, and then you got like druggy daughters, and there's like mentions of like I don't even know how I can say it, but like prostitutes and stuff on here. So it's a little much. Like you never see anything like that from Stein. Even his adult novels, I don't think they've ever mentioned anything like that. But yeah, Remember Me I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. I did think it had a little bit to redeem itself, but not much. Like it came close to getting a 1, but I do think like the ending and the beginning was kind of okay. Um, yeah, this 2 out of 5 stars for me. I did not like this. I do not recommend this book, but if other people liked it, maybe you'll like it too. But yeah, that's for me. One day, God willing, I will do Remember Me too, and just to see how bad it is. You know, I mean, I don't mind having a bad time. I work every day, so yeah. Anyway, anyway, Remember Me. 2 out of 5 stars for me. Guys, let me know what you thought about this book in the comments below. Thank you. Bye bye.